everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a full-on summer glam makeup look. As you can see, this is very warm toned with lots of purples and oranges. The main theme is kind of purple and orange. And just to let you know, I'm also entering the contouring part of this video into the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour contest. And I would really appreciate if you would vote for me. The winner gets something like 10 grand. And I thought, hey, why not give it a shot? You know, I've got the products already and I can incorporate it into a video as well. So I will be doing like 2 separate videos. This is the full-on entire makeup look. And I thought I may as well use Anastasia Beverly Hills products. And yeah, so I hope you all enjoy. This has got eyelashes. Again, I've been loving eyelashes recently. This is just so not me. But yeah. So this is it. This is, like I said, this is a full-on glamour look. This is full-on cream contouring and everything. May not necessarily be for everybody, but hey, I think this is a perfect kind of summer nights makeup look. I might name it something like that, like Summer Nights Full-on Glam something. Anyway, I hope that you all enjoy the video and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Hello everybody. So first things as always, priming the face to make sure that your makeup stays in place all day. I'm using the Illamasqua Hydra Veil Primer, which is my favourite at the moment. So just place it in the areas which particularly makeup likes to move around onto your cheeks, your forehead, your kind of your T-zone area. And now I'm using the Lorac eyeshadow primer, and I'm also doing the same to my eyes to make sure they last all day. Now I'm using my favourite foundation at the moment. It's the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Sand, and as always dotting it all over my face in a very attractive way, just spreading it out. This is 2 pumps which I use, 1 pump on either side of my face, and then I'm using a Real Technique stippling brush just to blend that all in nicely and evenly. Next, I'm going to be prepping my lips with my Carmex Lip Balm because I'm going to be wearing a matte lipstick, so I've applied a ton of this stuff. Now I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy palette, and I'm using the shade Caramel, and I'm using my MAC 224 brush to apply it to the crease area, blending backwards and forwards in windshield wiper motions to build up the colour so that it gives a really nice, soft and blended out look. Just go backwards and forwards as much as possible, building up the colour, and then checking now and then to make sure that it is even on both sides, because it's very easy to, while you're looking down, not realising that, oh, I've actually put more on one eye than the other eye. It's so easy. I do that all the time, and then it's only afterwards when I go outside in the sun and I'm like, oh, okay, so I need to go back into the house and I need to fix it. Okay, now I'm using the shade Morocco, and I'm using my Zoeva 228 crease brush, and I'm applying it to the lower crease area, so basically the eye socket area, and I'm just going backwards and forwards in exactly the same place where I placed the caramel, just slightly below it, because I want to have a deep crease, like with a lot of depth in it, but then I also want it to have like a sunsetty kind of effect. So go backwards and forwards, blending it into the caramel shade. Using the same caramel shade and the 224 brush again, blend out any harsh lines, making sure that it is all nice and smooth, because we want the transition to be from a dark orange to a very light orange. Then again, I'm going back in with the Morocco shade, again building up the intensity of the colour, and then at the same time making sure that there are no harsh lines between any of the 2 colours. Then I'm using the shade Vanilla, and I'm using my fluff brush by MAC and applying this to the brow bone as a nice shimmery highlight to counteract the matte shadows which are directly underneath. Then use that same 224 brush and just blend out any harsh lines. Now I'm using Iridescent Purple, which is an awesome colour, and I'm using my Royal and Langnickel Eye Fluff brush, and I am patting it on to the lid area directly underneath the Morocco shade. And I'm patting it and dragging it slightly at the same time because it's a gorgeous shimmery shade. Try not to make sure that you go into the crease area too much. Then using Morocco again and again the same brush, blend between the iridescent purple and the crease colour so that there is no harsh lines between the shimmery shade as well as the other one. Then go back in and build up any colour that may have disappeared. Just be careful when you're blending between shimmery shades and matte ones to not bring up the shimmer too much and not to muddy out the colour as well. Now of course I have to do my brows, brushing them through with a spoolie brush, getting rid of any foundation or eyeshadow that's escaped up there because it just happens so easily, or any fluff and dirt that's stuck. I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow in the shade Chocolate and her brow brush, whatever the hell it's called, and I am just filling in the outside of my brows. I basically outline them and then I start to fill them in. I only use one application of the Dipbrow and I use that on one entire eyebrow. That's how much I spread the product out. I just try to darken them slightly and fill in any gaps, but I don't like to make them look too obvious and stand out too much. Then I brush the product through slightly just to spread out any goops or lumps or bumps that are in there. Then after you've done that, just set everything in place with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, which is basically a very strong gel that keeps all your brows nice and neat and in place. Next I'm using my usual L'Oreal Superliner Perfect Slim to line my eyes and wing them out as always. Now to conceal the under eye area using my Urban Decay Naked Skin in the shade, or is it medium dark warm. Now I'm using the ABH Contour Cream Kit in the medium shade, and I'm using Banana, which is the highlighting shade, and I am using a Sigma Foundation F60 brush, which I wet with some Studio Fix to make the application a lot more smoother, and I'm placing that directly under the concealer to highlight my cheekbones, my nose, the top of my forehead, or sorry, the middle of my forehead, my chin, and my Cupid's bow area. Then I am using the shade Cinnamon, and I'm using a foundation brush by MAC. Doing the same process, carving out my cheekbones, like so, making the funny fishy face. My camera's gone a bit cool tone, but don't worry, it'll change again, it just does that on its own. And my nose, underneath my nose, the temples of my head, my forehead, and even underneath if you've got any kind of fluffy bits. Now I'm using a wet beauty blender to blend everything out just to make sure that it looks awesome and highlighted and contoured, and that basically that my face does not look flat and one-dimensional just because you use foundation in one shade. Doing this process is like a super massive kind of glam sort of look. This isn't for your everyday sort of look, but as I mentioned, I've entered this part of the video into the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour contest, which I will link below, and I would really appreciate you guys voting for me, which would be awesome. So as you can see, I'm just blending every single thing out. Don't worry if it looks like there are some harsh lines here or there. That's why we use powder and everything else afterwards, just to blend it all out. I find that using a damn beauty blender, if you blend too much of it out, it can almost kind of disappear into your skin, which is why I tend to leave a slight line when I do the cream contouring, because then I use the powders to blend it all out afterwards. And lastly, I use the Queenie brush by Hair and Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, or whatever they're called, just to finish my nose. Then I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Original Powder Contour Kit, and I'm using these two shades to set all the highlighted areas with a Real Techniques contour brush, so under the eyes, the nose, the forehead and everywhere else. I'm using the shade Java and a Sigma angled brush, and I am very lightly contouring over the cream contour cinnamon colour so that it's all set and looks amazing. I haven't gone overboard with it, I'm going very lightly. Then I'm using the shade Banana and that same contour brush just to tidy up any harsh lines that you may have noticed earlier. Now I'm using the shade Havana to basically warm up the forehead and everywhere else, general kind of bronzing sort of thing. Then I'm using the shade Fawn and I am contouring my nose. I'm using all the different colours because they have different purposes to serve. Then I am using the Studio Fix powder by MAC and I am setting everything. Then I'm using Modern Mandarin and a MAC something big fluffy bluff brush, something, I'll mention it below, I never remember. And I am giving myself lovely warm orange cheeks. Then I'm using the shade Sand from the contour kit and a stippling brush by MAC to highlight my cheekbones. This is the only shimmery shade in the entire contouring kit, which looks lovely, an ivory shade. Now I'm using the shade Deep Purple and a Sigma pencil brush to place it under the eyes on the lower lash line, blending it out nicely to give some nice smokiness and darkness down there. Then I'm using my usual Rimmel Kohl eyeliner to add some more depth to my eyes. This is my standard eyeliner that I use every single day. It's really black and long lasting. Then I'm using the shade, I think it's Legend, and then I'm using a MAC pencil brush to apply it to my tear duct area to open up the eyes and give a little bit of shine and some gorgeous glisten. Now I'm using my L'Oreal mascara and just applying it all over my lashes and my lower lashes. And now, what's this? Oh yeah, this is the Duraline by Inglot. Thanks you guys for telling me about it, by the way. And I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Coral Reef waterproof cream colour base thingy, and I've mixed it together, and I'm using the eyeliner brush E35 by Sigma to mix them two together and place 3 dots on either side of my wing just to give the look something a little bit extra. Then I'm using these half lashes by ELF, which are awesome, which I did off camera because I hate doing my lashes on camera. I'm just not very good at it. Now I'm blotting off my lips as always and just spreading around any remaining product so that they're still moist. Now I'm using my favourite Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Vintage, which is awesome and obviously matches my clothes, and I'm really happy with this. These are some of my favourite liquid to matte lipsticks because they're really thick and you only need to apply one layer to get a full opaque amazing matte coverage. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you think it's worthy of entering that contest as well. I hope you've learned a few tips, some hints. Oh, here's me with my earrings on. And yes, I purposely did match what I'm wearing to my clothes because I told you that's how I roll. Anyway, follow me on Instagram and everywhere else. Vote for me. Thanks guys. Love you all. Bye.